1800 hours, Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Farzana Khan. First, the headlines. Addressing the UN Biodiversity Summit, Pakistan has called for political will on part of the world leaders to achieve biodiversity goals aimed at protecting the Earth's plants and wildlife. Executive Committee of the National Economic Council has approved 5 road infrastructure projects worth over 162 billion rupees. Foreign Minister says the prejudiced mindset of BJP has entirely buried the concept of secular India. A senior Indian diplomat was summoned to the Foreign Office today to lodge a strong protest over ceasefire violations by the Indian occupation forces along the line of control, targeting civilian population. In Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, Indian troops in their continued acts of state terrorism martyred 19 Kashmiris during last month. Russia and France have stepped up calls for a ceasefire between the Azerbaijan and Armenian forces. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Imran Khan has reaffirmed Pakistan's resolve to preserve the flora and fauna besides achieving resilience against climate change. In his virtual address to the United Nations Summit on Biodiversity, he said that Pakistan is one of the fortunate countries being ecologically diverse from north to south and east to west. The Prime Minister said Pakistan is vulnerable to climate change and his government has taken up the challenge to plant 10 million trees, for which it has enlisted the help of local communities. He said that we have also increased our national parks from 30 to 39 as part of our Protected Areas initiative. The President of UN Economic and Social Council and Pakistan's permanent representative to the world body, Munir Akram, has called for political will to achieve biodiversity goals. Addressing the UN Biodiversity Summit, he said it is a biodiverse and hospitable planet that accommodated the evolution of the human species, providing nutrition, clean air, fresh water, natural medicines, and bountiful raw materials. The Executive Committee of the National Economic Council has approved 5 road infrastructure projects worth over 162 billion rupees. The committee, which met in Islamabad today with Prime Minister's advisor on finance, Dr. Abdul Hafiz Sheikh, in the chair, approved Shikarpur-Rajanpur section of Indus Highway at a cost of over 44 billion rupees. Construction of Rajanpur-DG Khan section of N55 as 4-lane highway was approved at a cost of over 33 billion rupees. The ECNIC also approved dualization and rehabilitation of DG Khan and DI Khan section of N55 at a cost of over 52 billion rupees. Rehabilitation and upgradation of Jhaljao Bila Road at a cost of over 11 billion rupees was allowed by the ECNIC. Peshawar Northern Bypass project was also approved at a cost of over 21 billion rupees. Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi says the prejudiced mindset of BJP has entirely buried the concept of a secular India of its founding fathers Gandhi and Nehru. Talking to a critic of Court Mithan Sharif, Khwaja Muinuddin Mehboob Qureja in Islamabad today, he said anger prevails among Muslims and other faithful across the world against the Hindutva ideology of the BJP government. Khwaja Muinuddin Qureja appreciated the Foreign Minister's clear stance against the growing trend of Islamophobia across the globe. Pakistan has lodged a strong protest with India over ceasefire violations by the Indian occupation forces along the line of control, resulting in serious injuries to one innocent civilian. A senior Indian diplomat was summoned to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs today to register the protest. Foreign Office spokesperson Zahid Hafiz Chaudhry, in a statement, said that the Indian occupation forces along the line of control and the working boundary have been continuously targeting civilian populated areas with artillery fire, heavy caliber mortars, and automatic weapons. It was said that by raising tensions along the line of control and the WB, India cannot divert world attention from the grave human rights violations in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. The Indian side was also urged to allow the United Nations Military Observers Group in India and Pakistan, UNMOGIP, to play its mandated role as per the United Nations Security Council resolutions. Pakistan has once again demanded that India be held accountable for its crimes against the Kashmiri people. At his weekly news briefing in Islamabad today, Foreign Office spokesperson Zahid Hafiz said Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi has addressed another letter to the UN Security Council President as part of efforts to apprise the world body of the grave situation in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. In his letter, the foreign minister has highlighted the gross and systematic violations of human rights in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, India's illegal measures to change the demographic structure of the occupied territory, and the threat to peace and security posed by India's belligerent rhetoric and actions. The spokesperson said recent crackdown against Amnesty International by the Indian government is another manifestation of the extremist agenda and inability to hear the truth from independent human rights organizations. He said the BJP's regime's action has once again revealed the true face of India to the world. He said the so-called largest democracy in the world stands fully exposed. In Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, Indian troops in their continued acts of state terrorism martyred 19 Kashmiris, including a woman, during the last month of September. According to the data issued by the research section of Kashmir Media Service today, one of the victims of Indian state terrorism was killed in custody. At least 16 people were injured in the firing of bullets, pellets, and tear gas shells by the Indian troops on peaceful protesters in the territory. As many as 88 people were arrested and 14 houses and structures were destroyed in 567 cordon and search operations during the month. The troops martyred 148 Kashmiris during violent search operations in the past 6 months in the territory. This is Radio Pakistan giving you the news. Tehreek-e-Kashmir Europe and Kashmir Institute of International Relations has lodged a strong protest outside the headquarters of United Nations Human Rights Council in Geneva to seek world attention towards the continued bloodshed system, genocide, and fast-spreading structures of violence in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. The protest held on sidelines of the UN Human Rights Council's meeting in Geneva. While exposing Indian brutalities on this disputed territory, the speakers sought the world community's urgent attention towards the impending humanitarian crisis in Kashmir that has been reeling under heightened violence, state repression, and undeclared military siege for more than a year now. President Dr. Arif Alvi says stable institutions play a pivotal role in the development of nations. Addressing a ceremony in Islamabad today, he said importance of further strengthening the institutions is increasing with the passage of time. The president said banking Muhtasib is playing an important role in quick resolution of the issues. He said internet banking is also increasing in the current era and maintaining the record is easy with the help of digital transactions. He said progress of the information technology has given a new dimension to the matters in the present era. Russia and France have stepped up calls for a ceasefire between Azerbaijan and Armenian forces as the official death toll passed 100. Russian President Vladimir Putin and his French counterpart Emmanuel Macron, during telephonic conversation, agreed on the need for a joint effort to reach a ceasefire in the framework of Minsk. Russia has also offered to host the foreign ministers of Armenia and Azerbaijan for talks on the flare-up of their decades-old conflict in the volatile South Caucasus region. The European Union has begun legal proceedings against the UK after it refused to ditch plans to override sections of its Brexit divorce deal. An EU deadline for the government to remove sanctions of the Internal Market Bill expired yesterday. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, in a statement, said the UK would have until the end of November to respond to the EU's concerns over the draft legislation. And finally, the weather report. Mainly hot and dry weather is likely to prevail over most parts of the country during the next 12 hours. However, light rain and thunderstorm is expected in few districts of Gilgit-Baltistan. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analyses, log on to our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.